When visiting Lochmara Bay in the Queen Charlotte Sounds, there is one place you must visit, and that is Lochmara Lodge. We haven't anchored in this bay as Lochmara Lodge have plenty of moorings available. $50 for the night in peak season and $30 off peak. But if you're just stopping by for a few hours to visit and use the facilities, it's free of charge. There is also no overnight charge if you're staying at the lodge or dining in the restaurant. Lochmara Lodge is not accessible by road, so you can only get here by boat, water taxi or via the Queen Charlotte track. If you are visiting for the day, you can purchase a day pass to explore the trails, paddleboard, kayak and check out some of the animals and native kakariki. There is also a touch tank and underwater observatory, which is one of only 2 like it in New Zealand. It was lunchtime when we arrived, so we decided to start at the restaurant, where we were lucky enough to have picked a day where there was great weather and live music.
Unfortunately, if these arms fall off, they don't grow into a whole lot of size. But they will slowly grow their arms. They've got a couple other cool, really predator responses. So if a big fish like a snapper comes by and decides that this looks like lunch, they can drop off a whole arm off instantly, basically, and hope that this fish will just eat that one arm. And if that arm falls off, then it's perfectly fine and grow into a whole nother starfish, so clone itself or asexually reproduce. So they're really cool creatures.
Just that arm can?
Yep, just from the arm.
Wow.
So I flip this guy over. He's got some really sticky tube feet. That's what helps him stick to rocks. You can imagine this is a tidal animal, so the tide's going to be coming in and out and it's going to get smashed around if there's it. So it wants to sit on there pretty snug. You can see at the moment, this guy's also just got his tummy out. So they'll suck their whole stomach out right from the centre here, and they'll eat outside of their body. So these starfish love to eat blue mussels, so you might see some blue mussel shells in the tank that are kind of split open. So they'll kind of use their arms, rip that shell in half.
Do they have a certain number of arms as well?
Yep, so they'll have a maximum of 11 arms, but you might see them with like 9 or 10, so that's just depending if they've dropped them or not. But no, they're pretty big. I can live up to about 35 years of age. Would anyone like to give it a hold?
Yes, please.
Wow. Around our reef. So everything in this cup tank spends a couple of weeks in here, so it's like an exclusive rock pool holiday.
Ooh.
Feels quite weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does it?
It's like having a
big
few
worms.
rat tails.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Mum. Wow. So these guys, like the vacuums of the ocean, they soak up a whole lot of water, and then the inside they filter feed through and they pick up all sorts of bits that they like to eat. Algae, plankton, detritus, so they're basically the bottom feeders of the ocean. Is that hold one? Maggie, do you want to hold one? No. They're not the prettiest animal, but it really helps them to blend into the environment, so predators can't see them as well. Yeah. They are in the same family as starfish, so if you kind of find the flatter side of your sea cucumber, they do have some sticky tube feet that really help them stick to rocks. Not nearly as good as the starfish though. So these crabs crawl on the ocean floor and they steal little bits of seaweed and they'll stick it to the outside of their shell so they can blend into the environment so that predators can't see them as well. Mostly a nocturnal crab, so moving around at night time. But he's got some pretty big pincers.
It does, doesn't it?
Pretty smart.
Yeah, very smart, isn't it? If you've heard of sea lettuce before, that really neon green seaweed, they can be fully covered in that and they look really crazy and cool. But they are in the same family as starfish. They've got a really sticky tube foot in each of these little spikes. You're more than welcome to touch it, even hold it if you'd like. They're not too bad to hold, but if you've ever stood on one before, you'll know all about it. The spike goes right through your foot and they're pretty nasty. Unfortunately, these kinna are becoming a bit of a pest here in New Zealand. So the more overfishing that we do, especially of kind of blue cod, snapper, they're some of the only fish with really strong enough jaws to break through that really tough, spiky outside. And these kinna are like underwater chainsaws. They eat all of the seaweed, and that seaweed is someone else's home, someone else's food, so despite being a native animal, kind of not being very good. But that's due to us, so not their fault. Would you like to hold that? Oh,
How does that feel, dude?
Hard. And really, wow.
Just as a little starfish, you touch those all the time. You can hold it. You gonna hold it, Mac?
Good boy.
Don't drop it. Dad's holding it. Okay.
Thank you, can you show me?
Show Dad.
so these hermit crabs don't make this outside shell. They have to go out and search to find it. So this would have had a nice little sea sail in there. And as these hermit crabs grow larger, they'll leave that shell in search of a larger one. You might see they've got one kind of larger claw than the other, so when they're tucked up in the shell they can cover it with a claw as if they've kind of closed their doors so no one else can get in there. Awesome animals.
You're loving this, aren't you, Alex?
Yeah.
Would you like to hold it? Tuck in. Oh, that's alright.
Hold something else.
Oh, I've got a couple of green-lipped mussels here. Have you
Wow.
eaten a green-lipped mussel before?
No.
No, they're pretty good eating. So they're the sort of ones that you see at the supermarket, restaurants, that sort of thing.
How big would those be inside there?
Oh, they pretty much almost pull out the whole shell. So they're absolutely huge. When they get that big, they're not very good eating. They get a bit chewy and a bit tough the larger that they get. But these ones are absolutely huge. The waters in the Marlborough Sounds are quite sheltered, really high levels of plankton, so you get some really ridiculous sizes. But no, absolutely huge. So this boat was moored up here in 2016, and since then we've built an artificial structure along the outside. So all the life you see here, all the fishies, they've come here naturally and made themselves at home basically. But at the front of the boat we do have an enclosed sea pen with some larger varieties of fish. We've got some you might see some pretty big crayfish that are lurking in between the rocks. So we keep those fish for a couple of months, we cycle them in and out. So we don't keep them forever, it's just time for people to see these fish that unfortunately you don't really see too often in our ring these days. Yeah, feel free to move around the boat and see all the different kinds of fish. I will point them out. You might see that the longer, thinner ones will be the yellow-eyed mullet. They have a yellow eye and often quite big skulls at the back. The other really common fish is the spotty. Yeah, I'm hoping we might get a visit from a pretty big fish that we get called a leather jacket. If you've ever seen one before, they're a really funky looking fish with a big bulging eye and bright yellow fins. But my spotty is pretty big pointed out.
Older than normal, she's your bad toe.
What does it feel like?
Right on me bum.
They do have inward facing teeth, you definitely don't want to get your fingers. They do have quite an interesting feel, quite spicy, quite soft. If you like a little bit of pellet, just to let you know that they will nibble your hands a little bit, so if you keep them kind of nice and flat, Gary, a small baby, is really good, but probably not healthy.
Hello.
Can you help me feed?
Your hands
So
flat,
now
Becky,
you
like
tell
this.
everyone that you can feed a really weird goat.
That baby goat.
That might be the mum, isn't it?
That's Mum, and that's her brother.
You on top of me?
Okay, maybe I should give you a try.
At the end of the day, we started to make trips back to the boat and the tender, while the boys had fun playing on the beach. The water taxi left with a boat full of day stayers returning to Picton, and the boys were pretty happy to have all the beach toys to themselves for a while. Then one last swim and we were on our way.